Well, I know that many of you are really excited to come back to Mass this weekend. I certainly am. Some parishioners obviously will not feel safe doing so, and so do know that the obligation to attend Sunday Mass is dispensed still at least until July 5th. But for those who have chosen to return to Mass this weekend, this video just want to offer a few directives for how things are going to happen here in Kewaskum. If you want a more extensive list of do's and don'ts, go to the Archdiocesan website. In this video, I'm just going to give you the basics. So we'll have two Masses in Kewaskum, 8 a.m. at St. Michael and 10 a.m. at Holy Trinity. If you come to St. Michael, we're going to have Mass in the back parking lot. Please park in the front parking lot. At Holy Trinity, you can park in the parking lots or on the streets, and then we're going to have Mass out in the grass area in the playground. So we invite you to bring a lawn chair, unless you just prefer to sit on the grass, you can decide. You can obviously stay near your spouse and your family. However, when you do find a place on the grass or the parking lot where you're going to stay for the Mass, do try to space out a little bit from other parishioners just to maintain some social distancing. During the offertory, we will have ushers come around with baskets. We will also have a large offertory box near the front of where we're having Mass, just before the altar. You can place your offertory in that box before Mass or when you come up for Holy Communion. That leads me to Holy Communion. There will only be one line for Holy Communion because at this time only ordinary ministers of the Eucharist are given permission to give out the Eucharist. So I'll be the only one giving out communion. We're going to have an aisle, something like an aisle at least, in the area where you will be seated, standing, etc. So please first come to that aisle in the center and then form one line and come forward for communion. Now, obviously, as you do this, try to be very respectful of other people, try to keep some distancing from other people, and then also just please be patient. You will have a chance to receive communion. I'm not going to run away from you before you get up to the front, but just please be very patient. It might take a little while, but that's okay. It's a little more time for us to pray before the great gift of the Eucharist that will be offered to the church this weekend in the Archdiocese of Milwaukee. Just one word about reverence. We are still trying to participate as much as possible in this Mass, even though we're outside. So first off, please respond, and respond loudly. Because we're going to be outside, it's going to be more difficult to hear. So respond loudly. In terms of singing, we will have a cantor who will be leading the hymns for the Mass. If you want the lyrics, we're unable to actually give you the hymnals to use at this time, but in the newsletter that will be sent out this weekend, you can download and then print off the order for Mass that has all the songs that we're going to be using this weekend. So if you print that off ahead of time, you can bring it to Mass and then you can participate through song as well. Regarding standing, sitting, and kneeling, please try to continue to do this as much as you are able. Now, obviously, you might have to modify it a little bit depending upon your health and how long you can kneel on blacktop if you're at St. Michael or on the grass at Holy Trinity. Maybe even you want to bring a garden pad so you can kneel. If you can't, obviously that's understandable as well, but just try to sit, stand, and kneel as normal. Also, just remember that we are at Mass. I know we're outside and everything, and so it's going to be very, very beautiful. It's supposed to be a beautiful day tomorrow, and we're able to reflect upon the Creator by looking at the beauty of His creation. That's all wonderful. But do remember, too, that this is a very sacred moment. In the Mass, Jesus comes to us in the Eucharist. And even though this Mass is going to be very, very simple, that truth is still there. The reality of Christ present before us in the Eucharist, body, blood, and soul, and divinity, is still going to be there. So we should try to be very reverent and prayerful, even though we're going to be outside. Finally, I just want to let you know that we are in need of something right now. And that is cleaning both churches more frequently, sanitizing them more frequently. So St. Michael is going to begin with a normal cleaning schedule. If you are assigned and you do feel comfortable coming in at this time to clean, I really encourage you to do so. We need to sanitize the churches more frequently, especially because more and more people are stopping by to pray before the Blessed Sacrament, which is great. Also, more people are stopping by for Eucharistic adoration and for confessions as well. You know, a lot of people missed out on going to confession during Lent, so I really try to encourage you to make an effort to go to confession sometime very, very soon. So at St. Michael, the normal schedule is going to be commencing very soon. At Holy Trinity, we don't have a normal cleaning schedule, so we are really, really, really in need of volunteers to sanitize the church on a regular basis. We're hoping to recruit a whole pool of volunteers and then to coordinate a game plan for how the church can be sanitized more regularly. So if you do feel comfortable and if you are willing to help sanitize the church, then please contact the parish office as soon as possible.